Thank you so much. Hello, Woohyuun. How's it going?
To have to forfeit a game.
Yeah, those were some pretty solid games here. I know that I know that we came in with a totally new roster tonight, and I at least had some pretty big questions. But the biggest question from the analyst desk that I'm going to start us off with is: can you just break down the Victor bot lane?
So the reason why we decided to pick Victor Bot actually was because they were banning it in games, I think, in game 1, and it was looking like a pretty good pick on B3. So we ended up putting it bot lane to match the Varus, and then we were going to counter with their mid pick after they assumed that Victor was going mid. So because they go ahead.
No, so in the first game they were banning Victor bot. That's what that was.
No, they were banning Victor because of our mid laner. So so a lot of AD carries don't usually play mages, but our AD carry does. So we decided to put the Victor bot lane to match the Varus afterwards, which was gonna give them support R5. So that's why there wasn't really too much. But because we got the support, we got the mid lane pick early, we got to counter it with the Yone. So then what ended up happening was that they ended up with a bad matchup on mid while we got Victor bot side.
That Yone was a stroke of genius. I was really appreciative of that. I know, RMC, you had a few questions that you wanted to ask as well.
First of all, I'll say I think the Victor matchup was better, but you know what? The Yone proved me wrong. But Howard, Woohyuun, we've had some time to chat before the game, but so right off the bat, none of us predicted a 3-0 for tonight. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's new roster, everything, right? So
yeah. How does it feel to prove us all wrong?
Honestly, the part of proving wrong is not what I'm concerned about. It was more the fact that like we were already 0-3 because like we had to play 4v5 and like we didn't get like an entire roster, and I feel really bad about that. So it was really important that we got the 3-0 and for the 3 points in the standings. So I'm just more glad that we did that. I'm just more looking towards playoffs as of right now because I really want like our development roster to like move forward and like show like people like, hey yo, like we're actually really good. So I wanna make sure that we're good for that, you know.
Pretty fair to say that you've made a very good start on that, and it scares me a little that you're saying that you're looking forward to playoffs. This is not a team that was developed to stomp right at the beginning here. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we looking at for week 1? Is this like a 4 out of 10, or are we closer to like a 7 out of 10 in terms of potential here?
As of right now, maybe like 4 out of 10. I think we're still struggling with a lot of things like working together as a team and like actually prepping and doing stuff ahead of time. So we're working on that in scrims as much as possible. Like this week was really, really hard for us. Like we like a lot of people thought that we weren't gonna be able to win like most of the matchups. So I think that coming in with a 3-0, at least it was like semi-convincing, at least for everyone else and for the fans. I think it's more important for that, you know.
They convince the casters here. So that works. And folks, you heard it here first. They're only a 4 out of 10. They're going to be at least doubly, twice as good by the time playoffs come around. And now, Woohyuun, which you had some interesting drafts throughout. I mean, the Victor was one of them, and there were some interesting priorities here. So, what did you think the most important champion and lane, really, the most important lane matchup throughout the series was?
I think it was jungle. As you guys saw, Udyr was a really, really big power pick for us. Just because he was able to get priority for himself and he was able to like permanently perma farm like throughout the jungle. Like I think game 2 was even worse because I think Udyr had like 211 CS and like Volibear had like 100 and something. So getting that matchup was really good. While getting a good mid matchup, good mid counter pick was really important as well. I think having bot lane being able to 2v2, even if they're in a decent or bad matchup, was really important as well. I don't think top matchup matters at all because at the end of the day, like unless you're like you have TP on like 5-second cooldown, it doesn't matter to be honest. So.
Are you sure you're the top laner here? Why are you so humble about your lane?
I mean, I usually it's just because we started so bad. I won't say anything now, but I think that as of right now, I'm still struggling to understand like what's going on in top. So you might start seeing some even more weird picks than like what you're currently seeing. I'm gonna say that much for now on my side of the thing.
Tonight was pretty standard. So
yeah, I'm just happy we're able to convince everyone that we're not like bad players or anything like that.
Definitely not. And the last question from me here will be within the league so far. I mean, I know it's only week 2, but are there any teams that have really called
Glaive? I'm calling Glaive out right now. Glaive.
Very emphatic.
Wow. That's pretty spooky stuff. I take it you watched the stream then, the last week's stream, have an idea of how they like to play. I know that we don't get the chance to have individual teams on very often, so this might be the last time that I see you in a while, at least until the playoffs. I want to know if you have any shout outs to give now that you've come in with the new and reformed Sparta Prime here.
Yeah, I just want to shout out my team. My team like did really well. They did a lot of work this week, even though it was hard and even though it wasn't like the best like performance we've had in a long time. I think it was really good that they worked as hard as they did, at least, and did like the prep and stuff with us as well. So I want to shout out my team for sure. I want to shout out Glaive because we're coming for you 3-0, and that's about it, honestly.
You guys really wowed us there, so I'll send you luck for the Glaive matchup is what I'll do. You have my vote. That's my caster bias on the table when that matchup rolls around. I'm excited to see it. We'll see you guys as you continue to hopefully blow people out of the water in the rest of Heavy League, but that is going to do it for the interview. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And much like the interview, RMC, that's going to do it for us on Heavy League Broadcast as a whole. After a crazy 3 games, I certainly need some water and perhaps a drink or two of something a little different. I'm going to be taking a break, and I'm going to be talking to Necrox and DJ about what on earth we can do to make sure that you guys get even more amazing content next week. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new to the Excellency Broadcast and were as wowed as we were by what you saw tonight, be sure to follow us here. Maybe not just here, even on Twitter. You can follow XLNC everywhere where we will be bringing you great content every night of the week. We'll see you soon next week on Heavy League, though. For tonight, that's all, and we'll catch you later.